Alright guys, so this is going to be my third time recording this video today because I'm an idiot and didn't make sure that my mic is actually on. But today's video, which is going to be on the JRUMZ Clarity CL01. Now this is a noise canceling pair of headphones. They do come in retailing at $199, although you can pick some other colors and actually get them for $179. But before we get into all of that, this is going to be another one of those pull back the curtain moments because I covered the JRUMZ XP02. It was their wireless pair of IEMs. It actually came with the wireless adapter. And a lot of you guys said that it was basically the KZ ZS10 Pro mixed with the KZ AZ09, which is an IEM mixed with their Bluetooth adapter. And I could see the similarities. I get exactly where it looks like that's what those were. And smaller companies, this is to kind of give you an idea, they can't always design their own product for cost purposes. So a lot of them will go buy the shells of other products so that it cuts down that cost and it allows them to focus on other things like the drivers and the microphones when it comes to noise canceling. Now, I found an exact copy of the headphones we're talking about today, which are the Tapaxis Hybrid A and C. They were on Amazon, and those I believe were like $50. So $50 compared to $200, that's a pretty big markup. Now I do also want to say, after I did the JRUMZ XP02 video, JRUMZ actually wanted to buy the rights to use the video on their site, which I was all for. It helps the company kind of like show off the product a little bit. And it was a product I genuinely think is a great product. And they want to do the same thing with this video, but I don't think they're going to want to after I'm done with this video, just because I can't recommend them the same way I did the XP02s for a number of reasons. And we're going to go through all of those, but let's go ahead and jump into the design and the build quality. Now, the overall build quality, it's plastic. It does have some metal that's going through the headband. Now, the actual headband itself is a pleather material. You can actually see at the top, it has JRUMZ logo. The ear pads are also like a protein leather or pleather material. It does have memory foam, so it's very soft. Overall, it's a very comfortable pair of headphones just because there's not a whole lot of weight here. It does have JRUMZ logo on the outside of the ear cups. And then as far as your actual controls, they're using physical buttons. Now, all of them are located on the right-hand side where you have your noise canceling button, you have your power button, which is also your play and pause button, and then you have your volume up and down, which also allows you to skip your tracks forward and go backwards. And that's it when it comes to controls, and that's really it when it comes to any special features. This pair does not work with an app, so you do not get EQ options, you don't get noise canceling controls, you don't get the ability to switch around controls. Now, there's no information out there on as far as what type of Bluetooth this has. So I'm going to say it's probably 5.1, 5.2. I didn't notice that this had multi-point connection. It doesn't support high-end Bluetooth codecs. It's basically SBC AAC. It's very bare bones when it comes to just the technology itself. So for you guys that look at products specifically for features alone, this is definitely not offering a lot here, especially, again, given the price tag. Now, as far as what they've included in the box, it does come with a zippered hard case, which you can see is purple. I actually think this is the exact same case that came with the original Beat Studio headphones. I mean, to me, it looks exactly the same, except for these are purple, but it does keep the headphones protected. The headphones also come with an airline adapter for those that actually use that. It does come with a 3.5mm headphone cable if you want to use these wired. It even comes with a 1/4" adapter. If you're going to plug these into an amp, you actually can use them that way. And then it also comes with a USB-C cable to charge them. Now, battery life is decent, where on a full charge, you can get about 40 hours, and that is with the noise canceling off. If you're going to use them with the noise canceling on, it's going to bring it all the way down closer to about 30 hours. And this pair does not have any kind of fast charging feature. So this pair lacks, again, when it comes to the features itself. Now, the noise canceling on these, it's just meh. It's not anything special. And in this price range, it's far off from where a lot of the competitors are. I mean, it says on their Amazon listing that it'll block out 95% of like lower tones. So like engine noises, AC units, and things like that. There's no way it's 95%, but even outside of that, anybody that's talking or a TV going on or even car horns, anything that has like that higher tone, you're gonna hear it through this pair just as you would any other pair of headphones. Now the transparency mode on here I feel like is pretty decent. I do want to say though, if you're not listening to music, the mics are picking up like a white noise, a digital noise, so do keep that in mind. But if somebody comes up to talk to you with this pair, you can carry on a conversation without actually having to take these off. And that's a plus because this pair also doesn't have the smart sensors. So if somebody came up to talk to you, you couldn't just take them off and have your music pause and then just go back to what you're listening to when you put them back on. And again, this is a feature we're used to seeing in other headphones in this same price range. Now, if you are going to use this pair for taking phone calls, I think it does a pretty decent job here. It is using environmental noise canceling to try to block out some of the outside sounds while you're on a phone call. And again, for the most part, I feel like it's doing a good job. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
So here is a mic test. I think overall you can tell that it's picking up my voice pretty well. It's not doing anything like over the top. It sounds somewhat natural, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call public.
So now let's talk about the sound. Now, the sound of all the products that I normally cover is usually where I can justify spending whatever their asking price is. If the sound is really good, or if it's unique, or if it does one thing just so much better than another pair of headphones, I would personally spend money alone just for audio quality. And again, this is another area that this pair doesn't stand out on. Now, if you're a bass head and you just like that really aggressive, like overly thumping type bass, yeah, this pair can do that. It has aggressive low end. It picks up lower frequencies really well. And for most genres, at least simpler genres, like pop, hip hop, even scaling it back to like classical or anything like piano or vocal driven, you can hear a lot of details. And the bass that it does with pop and hip hop just kind of brings those genres to life. The problem is any genre like rock or metal, or any genre that has more than two instruments going on at the same time, the bass can just roll over everything. It makes everything sound too warm. It can get congested and muddy in those genres. And the overall experience is just not that great in those genres. And also when it comes to the mids and the treble, there's clarity there in the simpler genres. I feel like hearing details and all it handles pretty nicely. It's just as soon as the bass has to come in and hit in an aggressive way, it scales everything back a little too much in my opinion. And the bass also affects the soundstage and the sound imaging. It kind of left me feeling like I was in a medium-sized room. And then being able to tell where sounds are coming from, it handles that well, but it just doesn't sound as spaced out as some other headphones out there. So my overall opinion is this: as much as I wanted to love these and I wanted to support these because it's from a kind of local company, not even just local to the US. I believe they're out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I actually live in Georgia. And I understand when smaller companies have to make sacrifices, like, having to go with a shell of another product and maybe change it or alter it just slightly, so that they don't have to invest a lot of money in the manufacturing process of a just completely unique design. And I also understand if they're tuning their own drivers, the cost that goes into that, tuning everything just in general, even the mics for noise canceling. There's a lot that goes into making headphones. But at the same time, you have to think about the consumers. And when you have a product that kind of performs about the same as some other ones that you can get like $50 to $70, I mean, we've seen headphones from Soundpeats and Earfun and one more that perform better than these do. Not even just from a noise canceling aspect. They sound better. You're getting way more features. In fact, most of those, and not all of them, you're getting LDAC playback. So you're getting high-end Bluetooth codecs instead of these standard ones that you get with these. You're just getting all the features and the sound, and it just makes it hard to justify a price like this. So I do appreciate what JRUMZ is doing as far as a company as a whole. I love the fact that, any company trying to get started in audio right now, it's really difficult because there's so many options out there. But at $200, even the $179, it's really hard to recommend the Clarity CL01s. But guys, that wraps up my video on these. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.